Okay, welcome back to Cities Skylines 2, where last episode we built a lot of roads like this one. This time though, we will be experimenting with public transportation and laying the groundwork for what our awesome city will look like. Let's begin. So over here, we have the highway that we built last episode. We still have not figured out what this grid will be. For some reason, literally, somebody comment down below what this empty area has been, because this has been here since episode 1 or 2. We still haven't figured out what we're gonna do with this. And we built this massive highway interchange, which somehow, if I didn't see from the cinematics of the last video, is already backing up in some places for some really strange reason. Apparently, it says it's 1:06 a.m. in January 2024, which means we're still in the past. And for transportation, what can we do? Over here, we got train, tram, subway, and water, as well as air. There's an airport that we can get. I wonder if we can get that. But let's just unlock everything over here. So, water, train, tram, subway, international airport. And we can see how we can link them up. The unfortunate issue with how I built this city was that this area over here has absolutely zero. It has absolutely zero public transit that could actually be easily accessible. And we need to move this radio mast. We need to relocate this over here. And then we can build our train station over somewhere in this area. So we need a rail yard first. And I think it would be a good idea if we placed it somewhere over here, but we probably need to fill out this entire land area and see what we could do. So I'm going to see if I can build this over here, and I'm just gonna, time lapse it because it's the easiest way to do this. That's the first part, but I read this, and I noticed that you could actually build bus routes across to the other end, like onto this area. You could build inner city bus routes, so that would be a good place to start, and that would be really easy to do. All we need to do is place down a bus depot, which we already have, and we're not using any of it, but let's just put electric bus maintenance and an extra garage, actually 2 extra garages just in case. And we're going to build an entire inner city area for the bus stops, and that should be good enough to do. So if we just place one down the marginal road that we built over here, we should be able to build this correctly. So this is just going to be a marginal line it's literally just a line that will be placed across the entire city. Oh, also, comment down below what you would like to see from this road. If you subscribe, maybe I'll put down a subscriber's name on this road, and you'll be immortalized in this series' history. Now, of course, my channel isn't really popular. Of course, it's been falling off for such a long time. So if you could help me by subscribing, that would be amazing. So, yes, we have the marginal road line that heads all the way up to the industrial area and the gas plant. So that's good. Then the second one we need to make is over the river. We need one over the river into this low rent housing area. And we just need to make sure that we can build this in a kind of line. So then we can link this to the marginal line via the industrial area. And then we link that over there, and that should be good, like such. But finally, we need to make sure that there can be a river route And there's still definitely more that needs to be done, but a good way to start doing this is by creating a bunch of lines here. Already we have two different lines that are currently being built, and you can see all these buses that are taking off. That is amazing. I like seeing that from Cities Skylines too. It isn't a buggy mess like it was a few months ago when I started the series. So I'm actually quite happy with how everything turned out with Cities Skylines 2 and its development right now. And over here we can finally build U-turns, and although this might be quite useless for the first few months of this although this might be quite useless for the next few episodes, it's a good way to start. And finally, we need bus stops from, well, half the entire city. We need one from Naylor, and we add a new waypoint over there, and then we complete that route. Then over here, we need to make sure that there is one from Milton, and we build that over here. And we need to make sure that there's a separate area that each and every one of these lines go through, because it's good to make sure that none of them jam each other up, which is exactly what I'm thinking. But I forgot that it doesn't really work this way, because all of these lines have to enter this one interchange. So if there is a way to fix that, unfortunately that means I might need to just completely demolish this section over here, which is unfortunate. I actually liked this bridge, but it needs to go. It needs to go. It is such a pain in the neck to continue supporting. So we're just gonna demolish that, and then we can relink that in both directions like such. And finally, we can build a one-lane highway from this area over here into down to this area. If I can link this up correctly, that should be good, like such. And then we extend it to 2 lanes. That's great. And finally, that should work. It's ugly though, so we need to demolish that yet again. So this should work if I can link this up over here. The bus line should be able to go from that area to where we're trying to make sure it should go. But it's not working, so we're going to have to fix that again and curve this over here until we get the correct curve position, and that should be good. And now this line is going over here, down through this marginal area, and up until downtown over here. We could also build one over here, which is, let's see here, what is this? This is Round Rock. We build one from Round Rock, and we finish it over here. That should be good. And finally, we do need one just for the intra-city transit, which would just be this area over here, up until this empty area, then down this marginal road, and back through this specific area. And this is the medium apartment. We could basically call this Old Town, because it basically is, in its own form, Old Town. It's just old. It's just not that old, because the city is barely a year old, and we already have a population of 22,000, which is insane, by the way. I can't believe it actually happened so quickly as to make an entire downtown within the span of 5 episodes, but here we are, and that's what happened. That's what happened, or what will happen this episode. Finally, that's every single one of these lines over here, and then we just wait. We basically just wait, and we see how this transit interacts with all the new transit, like in this area. By the way, this interchange, it's okay, but now that we have more interchanges here, it kind of defeats the whole purpose of this being so high, but it's okay to keep as a sake for existing in general. And finally we can build an exit over here. And we need to make sure this doesn't turn left so it looks kind of okay. It looks really bad, actually. It looks very janky, but it'll work. Trust me. And here is one of these buses. This is on bus line 6. So this is the bus line of which goes from, well, let me see here. I can change this color, so I'm going to make this red to see where it is. This one is the one that goes to, what city again? Which one is this? This is towards Pomeroy. And this one towards Pomeroy is the one that this bus is going through. So let's just follow this over here and see how it's like. By the way, our city is actually really nice to look at. Although it doesn't really, it's a little bit bad, but I think it's working at the moment. So that's the buses. We will check it in a bit. But now that we have this rail yard going through the railroad that goes all the way to downtown, we should finally build the rail area over here. Not the port yet, or anything in this area, because I will build another railroad up until this industrial area, and eventually we will have a rail yard where this is. So what we need to do is we need to build a train station. And the way to do that is we just extend this road a little bit up until the highway. So let's just time-lapse this because frankly, this is going to take quite possibly forever. So let's begin. Unfortunately, due to the way I built this, there's this area that I need to destroy in order for the railways to go through, which is sad, but you know, you gotta build progress, and that's gonna happen if we can link this to the other end. We have 9 tiles, but I think that's okay. We can just barely squeeze by if we manage to figure out how to get all of these. We're 1 tile short, which is okay. That means we can wait for further extension, and let's get back to time-lapsing. We're done with the time lapse. So we got a switch on. I don't know what that is. What is this? This is from the switch on. From the humble toaster to the self-organizing sock drawer, this factory makes everything that runs on electricity. This is a great facility to put right on the river. Again. Woo! But on a serious note, this is our new train station. Although it kind of does create a kind of barrier in the middle of the city, it is a good start to what our city will look like, and I think this is a good thumbnail if I can get the exposure higher. Let me just see here. So it's really nice how you can adjust this. It is, it's really good, but let me just see if I can saturate this. If I turn this, okay, no, that doesn't work. So how do I reset this? Turn that off. And then post exposure. Ah, there it is. If we can get this to be like this. So post exposure. If I can get this to 1.3. And then we need the contrast to be a little bit. Yeah, a little bit like that. Like, it looks okay, but like this looks quite better if I can. Yeah, if I can do this. What happens if I decrease this? No, that doesn't work. There it is. So that's a good picture. It's a good start to what we're seeing over here. And if we just enable this one last time and hide the UI, you get a good picture, which I will save. if this thing even works. Let me just see here. Oh, come on. Okay, yeah, maybe it doesn't work like that, but who knows? Who knows, okay? But it's a good start. So, finally, I think we should build a train station over here, somewhere in this area for the Old Town, because the Old Town would be a great place to build a railway. Sure, there's a kind of loop over here that makes it a little bit weird, and truly, this overpass, it looks nice, but frankly, it looks a bit out of place for what downtown should be, but I think it's okay. I think we should just start building this road and then building yet another terminal. That should be great. So let's just build this. It'll be fast enough that we don't even need a time lapse for it. All we need to do is link this up like such, curve it both ways like such, and then link these two over here. Finally, what you need to do is you need to get these two amenities. That's it. Finally, this is actually the final one. You can place a bus stop over here, link the bus stop to here, you got that, and also you've got a passenger railway line tool that will allow you to create a new route all the way to the city and all the way back. So now we have an intra-city rail line. What is next, you may be thinking? And it is the subway as well as water transport. We have water transport out here in the ocean, but we need more XP before we can do that. And we just need to check if any indicators are bad. So that would be a great start. So what do we have here? We have a lot of tourism, that's for sure. But the seasonal weather effect is making this a little bit worse. And we need something to attract more people. And what do we have? We could build a tourist attraction whenever, but we don't have the money for that. So we could try to build a grand hotel, like a towering monumental hotel with a classic design that has stood the test of time. And it would be the best idea if we could place it right in the middle of downtown New Tylerton. Would you look at that? That is absolutely amazing. But we need somehow more commercial. It's like Cities Skylines 1. You always need more commercial all the time. And if you don't have it, well, basically it just shoots you in the neck, basically. So we gotta build more commercial wherever possible because there are a lot of customers here. And although a lot of this area might be quite blank, especially this Railyard area, I'm not completely sure what I should do with this area. Maybe there could be some more industry, but we have the university over here. It would be a huge shame if we didn't develop this area into some sort of suburban area. So actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and time-lapse this university building area and see how it turns out. that is pretty much everything I can do with this university place. And basically, the only thing that I can do whilst this is happening is just to kind of wait, because we just need to wait for this city to grow, for its services to begin straining. But as it says here, oh gosh, there's no fire. There's not enough fire service in here, so this should be good. And then we should probably build another hearse, because there are quite a lot of dead people most likely, and yeah, the crematorium availability is, well, but let's just say it's going down, so we're not able to sustain we're not able to sustain the amount that people are dying at the moment. But looking at our graphs, I think we're doing pretty well for ourselves, if I can even open this. Oh my gosh. But yeah, we are doing pretty well for ourselves, because 5,517 people have moved in, and the population trend, city statistics, show that the amount of citizens is growing basically at an exponential rate. So that's good. So that means I just need to wait before this entire area over here is filled up, which it's already happening, but it's at a quite slow rate, to be honest. Okay, while I'm noticing this, the population is growing. It's at 29,000 at the moment, but we have a water problem, officially, for the first time. And I think it would just be better if we just imported water. As simple as that. All we need to do is just buy some water, and that should be able to work on its own if we just simply do that. So now, I think we're completely okay as long as this water pipeline continues to work, because I am not drawing any more water from the city. And also, there is literally nobody in this entire world that wants to build any medium density housing. All of them want to build high density housing in this area, so I think it would actually be a good idea if we helped it do that by introducing some high density housing over here. And yeah, like just completely redoing this area, allowing for some more high density residential, because, you know, fostering growth is a good thing. And let's just go back to waiting, I guess. But oh my gosh, what just happened over here? I do not know what the heck is happening anymore, but I think I understand what is happening with the state of this highway over here. What's happening here is that these people want to go on to this road and get into downtown to move in, and there is not enough space for that. But a way we can remedy this is if we just simply extend the road over here. It says overlapping items. We can just demolish this for a quick second. All we need to do is just make sure that this can go over here, like such, and then we can extend this. But oh gosh, it is still not extending, but I think that's fine. We can just make this a 3-laner, and that will slowly extend up until a 4-lane, which should fix half of the problem. But there's also this over here, which we need to fix. I'm not so sure on how we could possibly build this, but a good idea I have right now, this is a temporary fix, by the way, but a good idea I have is to simply just allow this to be a kind of slip road interchange up until the very end. So like such, boom, downtown is now connected via this tangent roadway, but it's overlapping items still over here. So to fix that, we build a 20-meter high road, and we just make it kind of we just make it curve slightly until it can get to this area over here. But it says overlapping items as well, so I'm not entirely sure what I'm supposed to be doing with this, but I'll try my absolute best to see what I can do with this. And nothing, unfortunately. Maybe I built this a little bit too close to this center area. So that's a bit of a bummer, but we can fix that yet again with something that I like to call tunnel. It was that easy. We could just build a tunnel. Although it's 20 meters underground, there should be just enough space in this area to allow for a highway to just come in from the bottom. And it looks a bit weird because it is. So we can fix that using a sound barrier on both directions. And it's a little bugged out, but it should work. But we need to turn off traffic lights over here. And so this slip road interchange finally works. But we need a 5-laner over here, then a 4-laner, and a 3-laner over here, and that should be good. So now people don't have to go through this weird interchange. They can just go through via the slip road over here into the train station and eventually into downtown. That should be good planning. Now, there are actually 30,000 people now because of our density planning, and we do need more commercial, which is easy, so we just plop them on the side of the road here, and that should be good. Time to completely and utterly pause this until we get to the point where this is filled, and then we can build the boat. Okay, so although the university area hasn't finished, we have some big transportation things to tackle. But milestone 11 unlocked, big city. Congratulations, the city is coming along nicely. Well, that's good to hear. So we need something new. We need tourist attractions, maybe, but maybe that's in the next episode. But we have an issue. There are too many people coming into downtown via every single way possible, and there is not enough capacity in the entire city to allow for this to happen. We can possibly remedy this if we can extend this to a 3-laner, possibly. It's quite, I don't think it's really that good. I mean, it could work, and it's a bit weird, it's a bit wonky that we're building this like that, but I think it could work if we just made it work. It will be a little bit weird. Trust me, it'll look a little bit weird. You can see the curve over here, but that should work. That should be able to make it merge. And finally, that means that we can build a 2-lane road over here. And this one actually, the reason why I want to build a 2-lane road over here is so that we can build this curve to be like that as per usual, but we can make this so that it can go over here, and I'm not so sure how that will work, but it'll work. Trust, and then curve that like such, and finally that should work. That looks very wonky. I do not like that. I will completely redo that. And this should be okay. This overpass should be okay. And then that is a good entrance for the city. So now they can go enter and exit either way. But, and there's a huge but, there's this huge intersection that somehow is still being blocked, and we can't really do anything about it unless we build an overpass over here right through, unfortunately, this college, which is already full, mind you. And the college, we need 2,400 eligible, and we only have capacity for 1,500, which is bad. So let's just build another one right next to the university, which will be good enough for the city. This is the university area, and unfortunately, this does mean we have to delete a particular part of this area. So just, if I can bulldoze that, which is unfortunate, and rebuild it just with the additional extension wing, that should be fine enough. And finally, we can build this road up to 10 meters. And if I can get this to work, which it won't, unfortunately, but I'll try. 15 meters. We can curve this to go over there and go down all the way to 0 meters, which, if I can align this correctly, will be right over here, and done. There is now a brand new overpass, but we do need to realign this, so that should be good. This will be medium density housing once again, so the issue is completely solved, and it looks really wonky, unfortunately, which is bad, but what do we have to do with it? And overground parking buildings are completely full yet again. Let me see here. What do we have that can fix this? That can remedy this? Roads, underground parking building. I will take that underground parking building because, frankly, if we're going to be able to build more, we need to find a way to squeeze this in the most compact area possible. So an underground parking building over there is good. And there's an electricity bottleneck once again. And this over here, what does this say? Power station overload. I don't understand how there's a power station overload. The production is 410 megawatts. The consumption is only 170. So I guess maybe we just need to build one more over here, and that should be able to provide enough power for a while to this inner area of the city. So now we have enough tiles to go to the edge of the map, construct the tree, and we have enough tiles to allow ourselves to build a shipping area. We can ship stuff all the way to the ocean, and also all the way to the other end of the map, which all you need to do is click this, and all you need to do is press passenger railway line tool all the way to this station and back. And would you look at that? That is the entire boat system. This is the entire train system, I meant. We're doing the boat this time. This is the boat system. If I can squeeze it in here. It actually fits in perfectly for some strange reason. But this seaway will go out to the city limits, and that should work out. And then passenger ship line tool. Oh, that doesn't work. Let me just add this. And transit terminal. And then we can put the bus, and we can put a bus line over here and add that. Complete the route. There it is. Then finally, the water. We could build one station goes up here. Oh wait, no, that's pathfinding failed. Okay, well that's weird. So let's see what went wrong here. I do not see anything that went particularly wrong with this. I'm not so sure why it's saying pathfinding failed, even though it's clearly it has not failed whatsoever. So if we just rectify that by transforming this area, so if you can go down a little bit, that should be good. And then you can new water again. We need to transform this area kind of into a straight area. That should be good. Good enough so that this can curve. This can curve over here and meet up with this line over here and curve it in such a way that it can line up right back at the station. That should be good. That should be good enough to allow for, yes, it works now. So Roslyn Heights works, and then we can do Melcombe, and that finally works. So that's the entire boating system. We still have the freight, and we still have to build the freight system, which will come in the next episode, okay? My recording says it's already an hour long. What am I supposed to do? I have a 2 terabyte SSD. It's already halfway filled up with Cities Skylines videos. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I mean, it has been a pleasure to be building New Tylerton, and oh my, wow, it is actually incredibly profitable with all these new educated citizens, money, income, expenses, citizens, households, age, jobs are doing really well, and tourism is skyrocketing. I think that we're doing pretty well in terms of Cities Skylines 2. And I hope to catch you in the next episode. See ya in the cinematics and in the next episode. Goodbye.